Yeah. What'd you do for the 4th of July?
We went to Sarah's. Across you can see the Clary fireworks.
Yeah.
So we fiddled around all day and went out and ate supper, and some of her buddies were out there, and just had a nice time. Just
Yeah. I went to Nick's, and I've straightened up as I've gotten older. But occasionally I'll have a little too much fun, and I had a little too much fun. And I mean, I came back with all 10 fingers and 10 toes, so that's fine. But every time when I went to church the next day, if I was making if Derek was making eye contact with me and I knew he was getting ready to ask for somebody to pray, I would so I'm not trying to get sick right now, dude. But
go the other route.
Yeah. I'll give myself a mulligan today. But yeah.
4th of July is a good holiday.
It is, man.
You know, I mean, it reminds us of where we've come from. It, people, and it's not as stressful. Christmas, God.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for so many people, you got 13 places to be, and it's just a hectic day.
Well, and then too, just the financial side of it, for me, at least, it's been to the point where I've not been able to enjoy the holiday because I've been worried about what I'm going to be able to provide for as gifts and stuff like that. And I know that nobody in my family actually worries about that.
Right.
But I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's not what the holiday is about.
No, we have let it get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, and especially if there's kids and grandkids involved, just a different time that we're in, and Thanksgiving, if you had outgrown your church shoes, your dress shoes, you didn't think about running out and getting a pair of the you got them at Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. You waited a month and you got them at Christmas.
Yeah.
And we have destroyed that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And I do try to, when it comes to holidays and birthdays and stuff, if people are asking for gift ideas, I try to get what I ask for things that I actually need, and things like that. And I want to be able to do the same. I would love to be able to do more, but at the very least, if I can just, hey, they'll probably find this useful, I'll go with that.
Well, we've been fortunate in the extent that there's nothing most of us need. Very little that we even want. There's something you want. You have made arrangements. You've got it. You've already got it. And there's nothing worse than to go to the mall and I've got to get a present for Aunt Martha. You don't know her Aunt Martha's size. You don't know what she's in. I mean, it's just you're just buying something. That's kind of foolish.
Yeah. What? I don't know why there would be a correlation with this at all, but are there seasons that are harder at the funeral home?
This makes no sense. I can't analyze it. But Nelda always said you were going to be busy when the sap in the trees raised and when it fell.
Yeah.
Over the years, and I've documented it. I know I can tell you every person that died, where they were buried at, what funeral home had them for 40 some years. March is always a busy month.
Yeah. And
same 30 days as everything, but it's always been a busy month.
I would, in my mind, I feel like the winter months would be more difficult, but
they're so depressing.
Yeah, they are very depressing.
They're depressing. Yeah. It, and the girls that work at the nursing home would tell you they may go 2 months, not have a death down. They have one. There's going to be 2 more right behind it. They come in threes.
Yeah, it's a series.
I've been to our local nursing home 3 times in one day.
Really?
Yes. 3 times in one.
And I should know this, but did Nanny Carter, did she pass away? Was it in the hospital or did she get to the nursing home?
No, she was at the hospital.
Okay. And then Nanny Bowman, I think Nanny and Papa Bowman both passed.
Hospital, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Papa, I know, passed at the hospital. But they have both at least spent time down at the nursing home. But, you know.
I don't want to put this
No,
on
you're
the tape.
good.
I don't want to put this on the tape, but Jane and I have buried all 4 parents. And just the way God had a hand in it, none of them were ever in the nursing.
That's good.
We had hospice with Dad. Mom had a stroke. Jane's mom died at Nashville. Her daddy died of a heart attack many, many years ago. But you won't talk to many kids our age that can say they 1 to 4 had spent time in the nursing home.
Yeah.
But we were lucky that we didn't have anybody in the nursing home.
Yeah. And I noticed, like, as I've lost my grandparents, I worry. I guess it's the natural way that things go, but I tend to worry about mom and dad more.
Sure.
And like, I find myself out there. I used to go, sadly, like almost weeks at a time without really checking in, but especially since I moved back, like I'm probably out at their house 2 or 3 times a week. And I just want to make sure I really just want to make sure they're okay.
You'll never regret that.
Yeah.
You won't live long enough to regret that.
Yeah.
It, who was it? Oh, this is an old one. Mother's Day commercial came on. Bear Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
And said, you got your mother. You need to call her today. I can't call mine. I mean, that drives it home.
Yeah, man.
That drives it home.
Yeah.
But a guy like that, you wouldn't think about him even acknowledging Mother's Day. Yeah. But that's just one of the things that comes out of a death is you're watching them a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching for the little glitches and
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's one of the things that comes out of a death. You realize how real these things are.
Mm-hmm.
And no, we don't have tomorrow.
No.
We and it makes you appreciate the times.
Yes.
Makes you appreciate the times.
And I noticed too, like as I've gotten older, there were things that I noticed my parents or, you know, individuals older than me, they would worry about or they would be concerned about. And I'd be like, okay, when I get older, I'm not going to worry about that. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to worry about those
normal. You're just normal.
Same things.
Yeah. You're just normal. It, I could, and well, for so many of us, you're not really hit with a close death till the grandparents start leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's when it becomes a reality.
Yeah.
You've heard the stories about the great grandparents, and you know you might have an uncle that passes away or an aunt that passes. That's not like the grandparent. I've got this little thing. I made it up. Gosh, well, when Leah was born, who you love, Papa. Who loves you, Papa. We do it about every time I see them.
Absolutely.
You know, with all 4 of them. You know, and it's just a little quirky thing that I came up with, but it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that reinforces that.
Oh, yes.
You know, I talk to people a lot that, and this isn't exactly the same thing, but I think the point is the same. Like if you have one parent that is the kids are more dependent on, and then they'll go stay with a parent that, or maybe just a couple or few days, and that parent gets to do all the fun stuff.
Mhm.
And then the kids come back and they go to the parent, you know,
To work in the garden.
yeah.
Yeah,
But, and it seems, they may feel like I'm not a good parent or my kids don't love me, but those kids are going to be able to look back and see that what mattered was actually there.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
It's the not. We have always done a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, some years it was a little more uh, close to the vest than others,
Mm-hmm.
but we have always done a vacation. I'd rather my kids stand up there at my casket and say, "Gosh, Dad didn't leave us a whole lot of money, but but he took time with us.
Sure.
We did stuff together."
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty important.
Mm-hmm. That's what I remember about Dad when I was growing up too. We really did spend a whole lot of time together, whether it was camping or like riding bikes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to go do anything crazy, because I remember when they were still building it's not the new road anymore, but uh, coming down uh, like the bridge near Joe Harrison, Carter, when they were installing that, we would ride bikes down there and then back. And those nothing crazy. Like that's just good quality time.
And it wasn't expensive. It wasn't a financial thing. It's the idea that we took the time.
Mm-hmm.
Took the time. It can't make those hours back up.
Yeah.
But those are stuff you may get Alzheimer's someday, but you won't forget that.
Yeah.
That's entrenched. That's there.
Yeah.
That's
so. Let's shift gears just a little bit and kind of get into. We've talked about a little bit about death and passing, but is that something that being in the role because you're funeral home director, but do you have any other like credentials or titles or anything like that? Or
in Kentucky, there's two licenses that are available. You have the dual license is a funeral director and embalmer.
Okay.
We're blessed. I've got the embalmer. Sarah's got the embalmers. Gary's got the embalmers. Joseph is working on his. Joseph's enrolled in Gupton right now.
Mm-hmm.
One more semester, and then he'll be able to take his national boards and come back to us with an embalmer's license. If we got into another funeral home in Kentucky, one of those other sets of license would have to go on the wall down there saying they are the manager of this funeral home.
Okay.
We had when Gary and Sarah had the Fountain Run Funeral Home, we took Gary's license from Tompkinsville, hung them down there. Gary was the manager of that. Okay. You can't, I couldn't just buy this house and convert it to a funeral home, excuse me, without there being a licensed funeral director / embalmer here 40 hours a week.
Gotcha. So you couldn't fill that role.
No, mine are taken.
Okay.
Mine are taken
I see
at Tompkinsville.
I see what you're saying.
Now we could have put Sarah's down there, but we put Gary's down there.
Mm-hmm.
I have those two licenses, and I also have a life insurance license.
Mm-hmm.
We write a good amount of pre-need. People come in, they know this is coming, need to do something. And it's kind of tough to come up with that lump sum of money all at one time.
Sure.
We can sell you an insurance policy, and it's a little different than what the other agents sell. This is just for funerals. Okay, it's not designed to pay the house off or pay the car off.
Because my next question was going to be if mom and dad went through you and if I was going to come out on top or anything like that. But
no.
And
it's based on your age, and the key to it is you do it. You can pay it over 3 years, 5 years, or 10. It's not a lot of insurance that you see on TV. It's whole life. You're going to pay that until we send them a death certificate. Okay. Now the snag with that is, okay, your dad has to go to the nursing home. Okay. Well, and that wasn't a good example, but Joe Average has to go to the nursing home. Okay. Uh, used to be the nursing home gave them $40 a month back after their Social Security and the state paid and everything to buy their personal goods, shampoos and stuff like that. Well, now they had to go to the nursing home. That $40 is already spent on an insurance plan and probably more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the whole life thing, even though you go to nursing home, somebody's got to keep that policy going.
Yeah.
They got to keep putting the money to it.
Yeah.
And, but our pre-need business has been good. We do ours out of, Cincinnati, Equitable out of Cincinnati, Ohio. They're a, good, solid, has been a family-owned large insurance company, just recently sold a couple, 3 years ago. But for the guy out here on the firing line, he would never know it sold. Still got the same people. My representative, she's been calling on us for, oh gosh, 12, 15 years. We know her kids. She knows our kids. It's just a good relationship.
Sure.
It's been good. But, I'm the only one that has the life insurance license. But
Is that
Sarah,
something you feel like? You was getting ready to
Sarah
say
will
that.
probably get hers
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
It we dabble in the monuments a bit, not big. I don't want to get big in the monuments, but I also want to keep it. And we have people come in, they want to do everything at one time. I want to do a service. I want to do a casket, vault. I want to buy a monument. How much money do you need? Well, I don't want to have to run out and get a guy to come in and talk to them about a monument.
Sure.
If they want to do it, this afternoon, I can make it happen.
Yeah. And is that like overwhelming to you, or like are you able, like have you done that enough and know that process enough that you can kind of
I can
same day walk them through it?
I can pretty well walk them through it. The people that I know do with the monuments, they're kind of on the cutting edge. I can call them and kind of describe a monument to them, and within 20 minutes, they have emailed me a picture of that monument with your name on it and your birth date and death. You can't put death date on, but your birth date, when you were married, whatever you want. You're sitting there looking at it, just like I'm looking at this piece of paper. And, well, Greg, could we make that rose in the corner a little bit bigger? Sure. I've got it back again. 15 minutes.
Same day.
And they're kind of on the cutting edge of the monument stuff.
Is there like a particular, like with all the things that you do you have a favorite or preference for what you do, or do you like it all the same?
No, I don't. I like to be with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The monuments, I can do it. It's just not the part that I really enjoy. I'm licensed to embalm. I don't embalm much anymore. Gary's a much better embalmer than I am. He's faster than I am. He enjoys that part of it more than I do. And, it's just everybody's kind of got their niche. Sarah does a lot of the paperwork, and that can be overwhelming. That can be overwhelming. I can get it done, but I'm not. They don't want me. They don't want me on the computer very much.
Sure.
So, but I like the more personal contact with the family. That's the part that I.
Are there? And I know, I guess being able to be honest with this question might be difficult, but at the same time, I do want to ask, like, are there times when the job is, because I have no doubt that you want to be able to approach every family and every situation with the utmost care, support, and things like that. But like, what happens when the job gets either overwhelming or things just get back to back to back to back and things like that?
There are times, there are times Sarah is closer to the family than I am.
Sure.
Maybe the next one that comes in, Gary's got more of a connection with the family than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with backing off and letting them, because if Gary feels comfortable with them, they're going to feel comfortable with Gary.
Yeah.
Okay. This isn't a one-man show. I don't have to lead the charge. Okay. I've got good people. They're going to take care of them just as, but if you can make that family feel a little closer, I've noticed over the years, I've talked to a family. They say, we're going to run home and get mom's clothes and bring them back. Okay. Jane and I can be standing next to each other in the hall. And when a lady brings her mom's clothes in, do you know who she gives them to? Jane. She feels more comfortable. Okay. And,
well, there's a shared, absolutely, like a shared responsibility, but like everybody plays a unique role, and that balances everything out.
You want that's what you're striving for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they feel more comfortable with Gary, hey, I can still park cars. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do the behind the scenes stuff. I can call the grave digger. I can do this stuff that, needs to be. I can call the preacher. I can get the pallbearers. But if they feel more comfortable with Gary, why wouldn't you take advantage of that situation?
Absolutely.
They don't all have to go through Greg. Don't. If you have an outfit like that, you haven't done a very good job of delegating any authority.
That's true too.
And I think, I don't think you're being fair to yourself or to the family when they've got that.
To be solely dependent.
Yeah. It's not a one-man show. It's not a one-man show.
So how did you come in? Because it was Jane's mom that owned it originally, right? Was it Nelda?
Nelda, yes. Nelda, well, they came over on 4th Street in 1953, and Jane's granddaddy, Mr. Gid Hollingsworth, and her daddy, John Ed Yoakley, and her mother Nelda, they built the original funeral home building.
Yeah.
Okay. Jane and I were dating. I was living in Henderson. Jane's dad had gone through a time that he had buried some very close friends. And he just needed to get away from it for a little bit. So they came to Henderson, bought a motel, and Jane and I met up in high school, got married. But when we'd come down, we'd go by the funeral home. Knew she had it. Okay. It just kind of like the elephant in the room. Okay. We had this funeral home.
Yeah.
Back in high school, and this is a long story, and it's my granddaddy Trible, was the sexton, the manager, the whatever, of Fairmont Cemetery in Henderson. He would make sure the graves were dug. He would make sure the lawn was mowed. He was the sexton of the cemetery. If my dad was sitting here right now, he would tell you he learned to drive in the cemetery. That's where he learned to drive. But it's just one of those things that I always kind of thought I wanted to get into. My family was one of those that there was basically 2 funeral homes. Well, there was 3 funeral homes in Henderson. My mom's family used one. My dad's family used another one. But I got the bright idea one day that I thought about going to embalming school. So,
Were you trying to impress Jane?
not really. No, it just, so, I went up, this was late 60s, early 70s. I graduated in 73. So, I went up to see my guidance counselor. During that time, let me back up here a minute. During that time, Henderson City High School and Henderson County High School had merged. A lot of mergers were going on in schools, but for a short time, Henderson County was the largest high school in the state of Kentucky.
Okay.
Just that's a freebie, okay?
Yeah.
So I went up to see Mr. Jim Polly, who ended up being a neighbor to Mom and Dad. I said, Mr. Polly, I said, what do you have to do to go to embalming school? He said, my gosh, Trible, I don't know. Nobody's ever asked. So he said, let me see what I can find out. So a couple of weeks went by, and Mr. Polly called me to the office, and he had me a catalog of Kentucky School of Embalming. And it told about you'd have to take pathology and all the classes you had to take. So I kind of read over it, and so I thought, I'm going to go talk to the funeral director. So there was two had been in Henderson forever, Fred Allen Tapp and Paul B. Moss. Well, Dad's family used Fred Allen Tapp. So I called Mr. Tapp, asked him, could I come talk to him? Yeah, we set it up for Tuesday afternoon. So I got my tie out and my sport coat, and I went to see Mr. Tapp. Well, he had forgot that I was coming.
Okay.
Oh, it just crushed me. I was. So anyway, we rescheduled. I went up and talked to him, and Fred Allen told me, he said, I don't need anybody right now, but if I did, he said, you'd have to be here at the funeral home 24/7. I'd pay you $125 a week and buy you 2 suits a year. That was my deal. I'm 17 years old, and I think, I don't know. I think I can do something else. So got working for the Chevrolet Olds dealer in Henderson. Became new car manager. And Jane and I were looking at buying a Chevrolet Buick deal down at Morganfield, Kentucky, right outside of Henderson, about the size of Tompkinsville. And I don't know. It just, the bank there wanted a new car dealer in town.
Mm-hmm.
But when we started talking, cheap money and long term was getting to be high money and short term.
Okay.
And, it's just like seeing the handwriting on the wall. This, we weren't getting anywhere here. So, I started wholesaling some cars. We were struggling, but we were keeping the lights on, but that's about it. And, one afternoon, Nelda called, and she said, y'all going to do anything tonight? And this was not like her. She just would come out. Okay. She'd just come to our house and, said, no, we're not going to do anything. I want to come out and talk to you. Okay. And, so she comes out, and the kids didn't know it, but Nelda had sold her motel that day. Some Indian guys had bought it. They bought it with the idea of tearing her motel down and building a couple of more. But anyway, she said, I sold the motel today, and I'm going back to Tompkinsville. Now, if y'all want to go with me, something happens to me, you can have my half of the funeral home. But she had a partner at the time, Billy Polston. But, you all buy Billy out, and then it'll all be yours someday. We had a house to sell in Henderson. Jane was pregnant with Mary Ellen. But being it just seemed like during that time frame, the doors were opening.
Sure.
That we were supposed to be in Tompkinsville.
Yeah.
at 510 4th Street running a funeral home.
That's awesome.
And
you feel like that's I don't want to detour too much, but did you take that as kind of like God opening those doors?
Yes, it wasn't us. Oh, it was God. Yes, he had a the biggest hand in us being in Tompkinsville funeral home. Yeah. This is where he wanted us.
Yeah.
Never had a doubt in my mind. This is where he wanted us.
And that's so frustrating. Well, I don't know if you would be. That's kind of been a frustration for me because like I will want to do things or know what I want to do and be like, okay, I feel like I could really do it right now. And I think he's saying no, but then it's like it's coming later, or I'm going to make it better than what you have envisioned right now.
We went, one of the churches we went to, we were having a Bible study one night and the preacher told us something and it stuck with me. He said that God answers all prayers. Yes, no, or later.
Yeah.
The later's one we don't want to hear.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, because at least if you tell me no, I can get over it.
That's right. I move on to something else. Yeah. But yes, no, or later.
Yeah. I didn't mean to detour you too much.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. So you get back, you buy out.
Billy Poston. We and got into it and I mean, didn't know beans from apple butter. At this point, hadn't even gone to school yet. Knew I was going to have to go, but we did never forget it. For live to be 1,000. We did 17 funerals first year we were here. First funeral we had, before we got back from the cemetery, we got the second funeral. So I'm thinking, hey, we're going to be okay. This is going to work. After the second funeral, we went 72 days and the phone didn't ring.
Yeah. What's that
and
like?
I'm thinking, and this is what I have chosen. This is what I've dragged my family through.
It's not like you want people to die.
No, but by the same token, 72 days is a long time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But, all right. So we're knowing that need to go to embalming school. Got to get these licenses. Okay. So, this was my selection process. I called Gupton Jones at Nashville, talked to them. Their program was 18 months. I called, in Louisville, the old embalming school in Louisville, it closed down and they merged with one from Indianapolis. It was over at Jeffersonville, Indiana, but it's the Louisville school. But anyway, it was a Kentucky school. But anyway, so I called them. Their program is 11 months. So I think, okay, this is where we're going to go. So Jane and I go up. We took a tour, and Renee Fisher was the lady that was the registrar. And she said, Tompkinsville. She said, isn't that down southern part of the state? And I said, yes, ma'am. We're right on the Tennessee line. And she said, well, there was a boy up here last week that from Mumfordville. And she said, he's going to be driving back and forth. Well, we hadn't got to that point, but I knew I couldn't just take off and move to Louisville for 11 months. Mm-hmm. So we stopped by, coming back from Louisville, we stopped at Mumfordville. Jerry Gardner's his name. And Jerry and I rode to Louisville every day for 11 months. He would drive one week and I would drive one week. And we were probably the fourth and fifth oldest ones in our class. Everybody was right out of high school, Yeah. And but we drove back and forth every day from Louisville, and that's a long year.
I'm sure it was.
That was a long year. Yeah, Mary Ellen was just a baby, but I'd get up like at 3:15 to get up there for, the hour ahead and everything, and I would go to bed before she did.
Yeah.
I would go to bed before she did.
Did you all is that something that you all as a couple had to work on? Was she understanding of that? Did you have to learn how to navigate those times?
We did, yes, because, it was, that was, and we both knew we had to get this done. We had to get this behind us. First day I went in to see the president, and I said, I need to talk to you a minute. And he said, okay. And I said, listen, I've got a business in Tompkinsville. I've got a baby in Tompkinsville. I've got a wife in Tompkinsville. And I said, I'm going to give you the best I can one time.
Right.
But I said, I can't be coming back. Financially, I can't do it. Time-wise, I can't do it. I'll never forget, he kind of reared back in his chair, and he said, you be here all you can. Don't give me any trouble, and I'll get you out of here.
Yeah, man.
I said,
those are the best.
I said, that's all I want to hear.
Instructors and stuff.
And,
man.
But I mean, I couldn't, I could just see, I got it all down to one class and would have to go back for that one class. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't. And we didn't have any correspondence back then. I mean, it was being in the classroom every day.
Right. And did you feel that pressure a lot?
After he told me that he would get me out, it took a burden off.
Yeah.
Now I wasn't valedictorian of the class either, but I did get out.
Yeah.
I did get out. But that was a long year for all of us.
And so that got you through, and then you come back, and did business start to naturally pick up on its own?
It did. And every year got to be a little bit better than the year before. And, but that year of 17, I thought, oh, we've messed up.
Yeah.
We've messed up.
Yeah.
But it smoothed out.
But you just keep going, right?
Yeah. That's all you can do. There's no second chance. You just got to keep going.
You just got to keep going. Yeah. And that's scary too, because like in the back of my mind, I know, like, as an independently licensed therapist, if my private practice doesn't work, I can technically go back and work for another agency, but I don't want to do that. Like I'm not even having that in the back of my mind. I want my private practice
to go.
And I'm kind of having to keep that compartmentalized, until, finances right now aren't a worry. But if I don't see the growth that I want to see,
they will become a worry. They will become a worry, yeah.
And it's going to be hard to push through that. But I also know, and I think it's a benefit of just having the life experience I do, that probably going to get better in time, especially if you come in and show up and put your best foot forward every day. I mean, it's going to naturally grow.
It's almost got to. It's, but, and it's not the big things you do. It's the little stuff.
Yeah.
It's the little stuff.
Yeah. Is there any lesson, like, I guess when it comes to death, like, are you comfortable with death? Does getting your job, does that question make sense? Like, a lot of people aren't as exposed to death outside of, they're losing friends and family throughout their life. But I mean, that's kind of your job, like,
am I comfortable with it? Yes. Am I ready to go? Yeah. I mean, if the good Lord called me this afternoon, I'm okay. Okay. I'm not pushing it. Okay.
Right.
I'm not pushing it. But I think when you're talking about the family and friends, I think the more that you go through, the more comfortable you get. You see people that it's time. It's time. It's when you become a burden to your family, it's time. It's time. But by the same token, I don't want to get hardened to it, that I don't remember what these people are sitting in my desk for. Okay. They've come in. It's kind of like where you're at. They've come in with a problem that they don't know how to get around. They need your guidance, your wisdom, your expertise. And a lot of this stuff that you learn, you didn't learn it at school, or A lot of our school is teaching you how to take a test.
Sure.
But, you know, even after going through a funeral, I don't know that life is ever like it was.
All right.
You have learned to adjust to it. It's not going to adjust to you. You've had to learn that, uh, we got on this been several years ago, we got on a pre-arrangement deal, and it was the title of it was so fitting. One day there'll be an empty chair. That speaks pretty hard. One of these days there's gonna this home we're in.
Yes.
There's two empty chairs.
Yeah.
It'll never be the same.
Absolutely. And people are, hope this makes sense. People are structure in your life who they exist, parents, friends, family, even just the popular people around town, they're a structure because they exist and they're regularly there. And then when they're not, you have to adjust.
You have to adjust to the situation.
Can't go back to being the same.
No. And and some of that's part of growing up.
Do you feel like you feel pressure from like being in a small town and like people know you? You know what I'm saying? And does that are you how am I trying to ask? It's not that you're a peop I'm not asking if you're a people pleaser, but do you worry about your reputation at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that make sense? And like, how does that impact how you do your job, or are you able to keep them separate?
I don't think you need to keep them separate. I want them. I want when they leave, I want them to say, "By golly, what you see is what you get."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It. He tries to be a good daddy, granddaddy. Uh, I want him to see that he's that way 24/7.
Yeah.
It.
Does we talked about losing people, but does the introduction of people like your grandkids, has that been, has that, have you felt that you have to adjust for that? But I would assume it's a positive adjustment. Does that bring more meaning to your life? Does that bring purpose? What comes with having grandkids, I guess? Does that make sense?
It's been the greatest blessing I've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have asked, we're right now we're 6 generations.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, there's a funeral home in Frankfort that's on their 7th generation, and there's another funeral home in the state of Kentucky that's on 6 also. And we don't know which one's the oldest because we don't know when we know the year they started, but not the date. But and it doesn't matter. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some of my grandkids get into it. Okay. They now we never pushed Sarah to get into it. Okay, this was her choice. Mary Ellen, no way. Wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't her cup of tea. Uh but I see some of the grandkids with the possibility, and we're not pushing it, but they might pick up the reins someday.
Mhm.
And it it would make me proud.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work out, that's okay too.
Do you have a vision for the funeral home, or is it just, you know, where it's at right now, you're 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 pleased with where it's at right now, and, when it comes time to pass it on, you're ready, you feel like it's in a good place?
I think it's in a good place. Uh, and Sarah will do some things that I haven't done. She'll do some, um, she will do some things that I haven't done, but I don't want to hold her back from trying that either. Um, Oh gosh, back when when Jane and I first took it over, we didn't know what Facebook was. Well, now Facebook gets the information out quicker than anything else you can possibly do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got to have Facebook. Got to have. Um, we used to have to call it into the radio stations. You'd call them and, I mean, literally read it to them. Oh, when I bought the first fax machine, I thought this is the greatest invention that's ever been. Oh, my problems are over,
Yeah.
Well, now we've got one, but it's not used much anymore. I mean, just every now and then. But the modern media that she's going to be exposed to is going to be.
That makes me think for some reason, because my nanny Carter, she would like call like every morning. I feel like would call every funeral home and like see who was,
sure.
A
lot of people do that religiously. Yes, yes.
But seemed like I had a different area I wanted to cover. Are there things that come along with your job that people don't think about? Are there sides of it that people don't see and they would never really think about?
Till you have done it, you think the pallbearers just show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either the family had to contact them or we did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The minister, he had to have a contact from us. The gravedigger, he doesn't know if I don't tell him what cemetery we're at and the position, he doesn't know what he's doing. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you never would think about.
Yeah.
It, you just hope that you haven't forgot something,
Sure.
it.
Is there anything that, like you ever had experience of things like that have kind of stuck with you for a while or have been hard to process? And you don't have to get into like, personal detail or anything, but like any specific situations or tragedies that like just
Made an impression.
made an impression.
Yeah. It, some of them are just harder than others, um, sometimes it's, well, as I said before, some of them need to happen. Person's not going to get any better. It's dragging a family down emotionally, financially, every way in the world. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's time.
What about when it's not though,
Those are tough. The sudden ones, even though the event's the same, the situation is so much different.
Yeah.
And for those, they feel like they were robbed.
Absolutely.
They didn't have time to tell mom one more time how much she meant to you. You felt like you were robbed of that.
Do you approach those differently?
Yes. And mamas are pretty smart. They know you love them. They know you. You might not have had that opportunity, but if you did, you would probably be the one that felt better. Mom knew it all along.
Fair enough. So I feel like we've covered actually quite a bit. But what's some fun facts about Greg Trible that people probably don't know?
Fun facts about Greg Trible.
Actually, can I share a story? And I hope I'm telling the right person.
Go ahead.
I hope it's you. I'm remembering Mother was telling me this story about maybe being at the lake and you went.
I know the story you're going to tell.
Why don't you tell it?
The story.
Tell it.
We were all at the lake on somebody's boat. I don't remember who it was. And we were going to pick up Tony at the dock at 6:00. Well, somehow I ended up driving the boat, had about 5 or 6 ladies with me. And we go in and pick up Tony. And we pulled up there and I got out to go tie the boat up. We could see Tony coming down the hill there. And somehow somebody moved and the boat kind of did one of these. And I reached up and I grabbed this hot wire and I go in the water with it.
Yeah.
Could have killed every one of us. I guess.
Man.
Could have killed every one of us.
Yeah.
But that's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's been a long time ago. Yeah, Teresa and I talk about that pretty often.
Yeah, she I remember her telling me, but I in my mind, I guess I just envisioned it wrong, but I thought you had leaned up against like a wooden power line or something and it broke off or something, but so you were in the boat.
I was in the boat and somehow I had a hot wire in my hand. I don't remember all the details to it. You talking about the funeral home and I think people are not paying me to cry.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying me to do a job.
Right.
And, but by the same token, I don't think it hurts to laugh at a funeral home.
Oh, I don't either.
I think it's some awful good therapy. One of the questions you asked me was, was there any funny situation that stuck out? And, we were getting ready to have a funeral one day. And, I was standing in the door and I was looking to make sure everybody's kind of where they needed to be. And this lady walked in. She was looking for a seat. And so I told her, I said, there's a couple right over there. And just out of the corner of my eye, this lady, and in my mind, she had a Western skirt on and had some fringe at the bottom of it. Okay. During the funeral, the phone rang. And the city police had called, and they had been on some kind of a domestic situation. They said, we know about the funeral. You can kind of drag your feet. We will be there. We're not there yet, but we will be there. And the police, the sheriff's department, the police, state, they have all been so good to us over the years about escorting funerals. They've just been very, very nice to us. But anyway, so funeral's over. Well, I'm going over to the door at the carport where I can kind of watch for the police. Gary was passing the crowd by, and I told him, I said, slow down. I said, I'll tell you when the police are here, and then we'll pick up the pace. So this lady that I had seen in the door, she was one of the first people that came by, that passed by, and she was coming down the hall right toward me. Ben, this fringe at the bottom of her skirt was getting longer all the time.
Oh, no. She had a thread loose?
She got about I don't know, 8 or 10 feet from me, and her slip hit the ground. I can still see she kind of stepped out of it. She reached back and grabbed it and crammed it down in her purse. And I'm sitting there thinking, ma'am, please don't look at me. Please don't make eye contact with me. Man. I can't, I'm going to have to, if you do, I'm going to go outside and get my composure.
Yeah.
And she never did look at me, walked on out the door. But, that was one of the funnier, it's just, anytime you get 100 people together, something funny's going to happen. I know, it can't help it.
We were at my great uncle Jerry's funeral, and I was going to the bathroom. As people were leaving, I had to go to the bathroom because for some reason I decided to chug water at the most inopportune moments, and I had to go. And so I went to the bathroom, but somebody was in the men's. And actually several times I've encountered this at the funeral home. And I forgot who it was, but somebody that works for you told me to just go into the women's.
Oh, we do it all the time, yeah.
And so I've done that several times, and I've never had an issue with this. But I go in there, I go to the bathroom, and I walk out, and there's just this woman just standing there making eye contact with me. And I'm just like, what's the funniest thing I can say right now? And I was like, it's 2026, men can do this now. And it's like, I don't know. I don't even remember who it was, but I have to, like, I'm so socially awkward and socially anxious. Like, if I didn't say something funny, it was going to be bad the rest of the day. But yeah. You feel like you're in a good spot.
I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. The good Lord's took care of old Greg.
Yeah.
He's took care of old Greg.
Does when you said you don't want to get preachy, and we don't have to get preachy, but I'd never heard of Liberty Church. Where's that at?
Liberty, down across from Mill Creek.
Okay.
Used to be a Methodist church, little white church. Mark Kendall's our pastor.
Okay.
And everybody knows Mark. Non-denominational. And it's a long story how we ended up there, but again, this is where the good Lord wanted us. You could tell. And but Liberty Cemetery is right in front of it, white building.
Yeah. As I'm getting older, the less I think I'll always find myself wanting to do things that I want to do, but as I'm growing in my faith, it's like I lay my head down at night in peace more if I know I'm where God wants me to be and not where I want to be.
Oh,
And that's I feel like that's such a blessing of a lesson to have learned now.
At the end of the day, you're not in charge.
Yeah. And I realized that.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
And honestly, I part of me learning that lesson was doing things that I wanted to do, or like, not that it wasn't God's will for me to join the military, but that's something that I wanted to do. And when I realized, like, there, you are not in charge, and I became like supremely dependent on him.
Yeah.
And
What's wrong with that?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I used to think like, oh, he's building me up so I can just go and do the things he wants me to do. But it's like, no, he wants me to still remain dependent on him. That dependence doesn't
go away.
Doesn't go away. Because the less dependent I am, the more I get stuck up here. But yeah. So what's maybe a lesson that you've learned, or a piece of wisdom that you've gained over the years of your life, preferably from the funeral home business, but if not?
Oh, I guess the funeral home has taught me, if there's something you want to do, you better be doing it. And we didn't turn this into a revival, but you know, we're not promised tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't, I mean, we anticipate we're going to get it, but we're not promised tomorrow. I've seen too many families that, in my opinion, they were always after that dollar, and they never did anything as a family. They didn't enjoy anything. You know, we still look forward to vacations. We still look forward to the 4th of July. You know, all of us, you know, we got together and you know, these things can seem kind of small till you get to a point that you can't do them anymore. Then they become real big. But I guess what I'm seeing at the age I'm at now, it's not that the people can't afford to do some things. It's that their health will not let them. Now, when you get the health card in there, you got troubles.
Yes.
It's
because it's not just it's not just a financial limitation.
It's not the financial limitations. No, it's that you just can't physically do it.
And that's awful.
That's tough. That's rough. Yeah.
Last question I'll ask you is, can you tell me, or do you know, what Greg Trible is going to have on his head?
Oh. I've always said it was going to be this little saying that I heard somewhere about fools and little children. You know, if I was going to buy a monument today, honestly, I think I'd like to put on there that, you know, he was a funeral director for 40, however many years. He tried. I don't need a sermon on it, you know, but he tried. He tried to be friendly. He tried to be good to people. That if just make it simple.
I mean, that's what matters at the end of the day.
That you tried, you know, and everything didn't work out. You know, everything didn't work out, but he tried. Well, I never thought of that question.
Yeah.
No, you pulled one on me there.
I did. It just come to me too. It really did. But Greg, I appreciate you coming out, man. I think it's been entertaining for me. Been insightful for me. I've known you all my life, but I haven't had a deep, thorough conversation with you, and this has been just an awesome
been good for
experience.
both of us. It's been good for both of us. It's you know, and you're on the right track. You know, people need help. Mm-hmm. People need help.
They do, and
that doesn't make them weak. You know, that doesn't make them weak. They're sharp enough to realize they need some help.
Yeah,
and you're offering the service that we've never had before.
We'll see how it goes, man.
And I'm proud of you.
I appreciate.
I'm proud of you.
I want to do good things, but at the end of the day, like your advice, I'm going to try.
I'm going to try. That's all we can do.
All I can do.
That's all we can do.
Well, I'll get you out of here.
My friend, I appreciate you.
All right. Please take care.
Thank you.